everyone, I'm Ariel, and today I'm going to show you how to make this felt Raymond. I added a magnet to the back, but you could totally add a pin or even a keychain to the top, or you could just, oops, sorry, I just messed up his glasses. Or you could just leave him be because he is perfect just the way he is. So, of course, this was inspired by Animal Crossing New Horizons, which I have put more hours into than I'd like to admit. And Raymond is one of the new villagers who've been added to the series, so I thought it would be fun to make him into something, and turns out it was, because Raymond had a blast. So let's waste no more time and get on to the tutorial. The first step is gathering your supplies, and here is almost everything I used for this project. I also used tape, which obviously isn't here, but it's fine. I'll do better next time. Probably. I will, however, have the list of supplies I used down in the description box, and I'll try to include everything. And of course, you're also going to need the pattern, and I'll have that linked down in the description box as well, and yes, don't worry, it's free. So first, you need to cut out the pattern. You'll need to keep track of which pieces need to be cut out twice, because once they're cut out, they won't be attached to their numbers anymore, since I didn't make it easy for any of us. Oops. But at least keeping track of the colors is easy with this simple tip. Just put the pieces where they need to go as you cut them out. Works every time. Now just take a pen and trace the parts that you'll need for the head. These are the only pieces I used a pen for, but you can totally go all in if you want because I can't stop you. Oh, and by the way, the cardboard I'm using is from a tissue box. Once you're done tracing, cut them out and put them off to the side for later. Next, for the smaller, more complicated pieces, instead of tracing, I just go ahead and tape them right to the felt since it's so much easier. Now, all you have to do is cut everything out while keeping it about an inch away from your eyeballs because it helps you feel like you have more control over the situation than you actually do. I'm just kidding, not really. But it really is as simple as just cutting everything out after they're taped down. Also, remember that some pieces need to be cut out twice. You can just do the same thing again. They may be a little fuzzy, but it's fine. Oh, and you may be wondering why one of his hair fluffs has lines going into the pattern, and that is simply because you'll need to cut into that part too. And here are all of the little parts. So I don't actually know if needle felting is generally used in the way I'm about to show you, but I tried it and it worked, so here we go. So starting with the ears, just place the back of the ear down on your needle felting mat and place the front of the ear on top of that. Once they're lined up, just poke through both layers around the outside edge over and over until they're attached. Don't attach the inside edge just yet though. I know it's tempting, but trust me. Now once the outside is good to go, take the middle piece and slide it underneath the inside edges. And now you can go ahead and poke around these edges too. So after you're done with that, it's going to be super fuzzy. Every part will. Honestly, it's going to get out of control, so don't be afraid to start early and get in there with some scissors and trim that fuzz down. And of course he has two ears, so just repeat this for the other one. Just make sure the second ear is done in the reverse direction because you don't want two ears for one side of his head. This is totally optional, but you may want to keep a lint roller nearby since this project is very fuzzy. Time for my favorite part, which is the hair. Start by taking the two identical pieces, stacking them on top of each other, and then just poke them a bunch of times until they're stuck together. It really doesn't need to be perfect because you still need to add the top layer. Once you put the final layer on top, just continue poking. Those cuts that were made into it are there to help you make those hair swoopy things that he has. The method that I use is something I like to call poking it until I think it looks right, and I highly recommend it. It hasn't let me down yet. Oh, also, sometimes after you're done poking them a bunch of times, they can honestly look a little roughed up and full of holes. So if this happens, and it will, just take your nail and fluff it up. And don't forget to trim the fuzz, because if you don't, he's going to look like he has massive bedhead, which I guess is fine if that's what you're going for. And you'll probably need to lint roll this as well, because the fuzz is out of control right now, just like the rest of the world. Alright, let's get this boy put together already. When you get his face, which is the biggest headpiece by the way, don't get them mixed up, you're gonna want to make sure the side you drew the outline on is facing down, because that's the bad side. In other words, it's the side you don't want to see when all of this is over. Once that's settled, just take his hair and position it in the top center until it's where you like it, and then just poke it in place. Next, add the whites of his eyes below his hair. It's a good idea to use his glasses to help you get the position right, otherwise you might get a not so nice surprise later when his eyes don't line up within the frames. Once you like how the eyes are placed, go ahead and add the rest of the details to his eyes, one piece at a time. Remember, the lint roller is still optional, and I will forever be in denial about that. The pupils may look a little big when you put them on there, but they get smaller as you poke them, so don't worry about it. After the eyes are all assembled, you'll want to place the glasses on top again to help with positioning the nose and mouth. Once you're done making him look beautiful, you should have something like this. Okay, we're done with that now. So let's do the hard part, which is his glasses. Start by taking both glasses and then stack them and attach them just like everything else. After they're attached, they're going to have a whole lot of fuzz in the back, so just take some scissors and trim that down. Once you get rid of the excess fuzziness, you're going to want to find a reference photo. This is just a random picture of Raymond that I found online, and use that as a guide to help you shape his glasses using scissors. Take your time with this, just make small cuts as you go along because you can always cut more if you need to. When you're done, just place them on his face to see if you're happy with them, and if you are, put them off to the side for later. Sorry Raymond, you don't get to have clear vision just yet. Okay, now we get to glue stuff. But first, I have to quickly say you have to use Tacky Glue. I mean, you don't have to because I can't tell you what to do, but it's way better than felt glue, and my grandma always raved about it when I was growing up, and we all know grandmothers know best when it comes to this stuff. So once you have your glue, squeeze a little bit of it out onto something disposable or something you can clean afterwards. I'm just using a flashcard because I have a million of them everywhere, so why not? Then take his ears and figure out where you want to place them, and then try your best to remember when you go to apply the glue. You can also probably mark where they go with a pen, but I'm playing on the hard difficulty. Now just get some of the glue onto the tip of a toothpick and place it along the outside edge of the face where the ears will go. When you glue the ears on, you want to glue them straight onto that outside edge, so they're going to look like they're hanging over his face, and that's what you want them to look like. Now gently put him down to dry and get the back of his head and the cardboard and start gluing. Just make sure you glue the cardboard to the bad side of the felt. Let those sit to dry for longer than 20 minutes because that's how long I gave it, and it wasn't long enough, so good luck. When that dries, glue the back of the ears to the cardboard side of the back of the head. And when that dries, start carefully needle felting the edges together. And don't poke yourself because you can't edit it out when you do, like I totally did. When you get to the point where you have a small opening left, start adding some filling to puff him up a bit. Then just go ahead and seal him up. Don't forget to fluff up and trim those edges too. Alright, it is the moment Raymond has been waiting for. He finally gets to wear his glasses. So he is definitely good as is, but if you want to add a magnet or a pin, now would be the time. And finally, we're all done. Hello again. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And also leave a comment down below letting me know if there are any villagers who you really wanted but it took you forever to get them to move to your island. Or if you're still looking, let me know that too. For me, that was of course Raymond himself, because I am like pretty much everyone else who's on the internet. Finally, you should go check out my Kirby plushie video because it seems really popular for some reason. Not that I could tell you why because I haven't seen it in 5 years, but my options are kind of limited at the moment, so putting it here just seemed like a good idea. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.